DaVinci Resolve's immersive functionality is now a part of the latest version of DaVinci Resolve version 20.1. In this video, we will cover improvements and new tools in Resolve's immersive workflow that build on top of the functionality that Natalie demonstrated in our previous immersive video. There are now resolution presets for immersive. No longer do you have to remember the resolution for the Ursa Cine immersive camera and then type it in manually. There's also a half resolution option, handy for improving system performance. There are now dedicated immersive viewer modes on the edit page. You no longer have to monitor in lens space. Enable the immersive toolset using the drop-down menu in the bottom left-hand corner of the viewer. Timeline allows you to monitor in lens space. Lat long remaps the image to equirectangular. It removes compression from the sides of the image while retaining compression at the tops and the bottom. Given that most interest is found horizontally in the frame rather than vertically, this makes previewing the image easier. Finally, Viewport allows you to simulate the experience of looking around in a headset. You can click and drag in the viewer, like this, or dial in a specific view using the controls at the top. Like other controls in Resolve, you can reset them by double-clicking. Obviously, it's not the same as wearing a Vision Pro headset, but it helps you to visualize the field of view your audience will have. This new Fusion tool is incredibly helpful for paintouts. I'm sure it has other uses too. Paintout workflows often involve stabilizing elements beforehand and then unstabilizing them so they can be comped back into the original footage. You can use a similar workflow with the Immersive Patcher, but instead of stabilizing and unstabilizing the image, we will be undistorting it to perform our paintout and then redistorting it back into the original lens space. Add the Immersive Patcher to your node tree. I'm running it in its own separate parallel pipeline. I'll make sure this patcher node is placed in undistort mode and equip it in the left-hand viewer. I can use the X, Y, and angular view controls to choose which part of the image I am viewing. The patcher node has correctly unwrapped the image. Now it's no longer distorted. Straight lines and geometric shapes render correctly. Copy the patcher node and paste it in line. On the second patcher node, change the mode from undistort to distort. When it has the same settings as the first patcher node, it will correctly redistort the image back into lens space. If you'd like to make this workflow a little bit more robust, you can make the second patcher node an instance node and just de-instance the mode control, like this. Now, if I modify the X, Y, or angular view controls, the second patcher node will update. This patcher workflow hasn't preserved the entire image. That's not a problem. I can merge it back on top of the original image. Now I can add a paint node or use another technique in between the two patcher nodes. Using tools like Clone Stamp is much easier when I'm not trying to compensate for the lens distortion. In this quick example, I'll remove some of these marks from the pavement. It's very easy to accidentally get your tripod feet in shot when shooting immersive. This is going to be a great tool for fixing problems like that. There's a viewport-style immersive monitor available in the Fusion page as well. Click on the triple dot menu above the viewer, go to 360 View, yes I know that's confusing, and then select Immersive. This displays a rectilinear image. You can navigate by holding down on Option or Alt and clicking and dragging with the middle mouse button. Most commonly, that's going to be your mouse wheel. You can now export your immersive project as a regular VR180 video. That means it can be viewed on other platforms like the MetaQuest. Keep this in mind though, it won't have the same quality that you can provide using the Apple immersive video format. It's unwrapping the image from lens space into lat long, which will degrade its quality and make it less efficient. It's not going to be able to embed all the awesome metadata that the Apple immersive video format can support. And it won't be using Apple's spatial audio format. But it's super exciting that you can create your immersive videos and easily distribute to other platforms. The Vision Pro will still provide the best experience, but now there is a simple workflow to allow others to watch. A very important part of producing Apple immersive video is the Apple spatial audio format. To enable ASAF support in Resolve, head to Preferences, Video Audio I/O, Immersive Audio, and you guessed it, enable Apple spatial audio format. How do you use it? That's a topic for a much longer video, but here's some cliff notes. In the Fairlight page, you can now create ASAF buses. Let's just go ahead and make my primary output bus an ASAF master. Only one ASAF master bus can exist in a timeline. A typical ASAF mix will have channel-based, object-based, and ambisonic audio. Let's create a super simple mix with a mono track for dialogue and a stereo track for music. Look at that, they are both routing into that ASAF master bus, no problem. Let's test them out. Before we do, a little bit of info. ASAF, similar to formats like Dolby Atmos, will render differently depending on what device you're using to listen. For example, you could push ASAF out through a 5.1 surround speaker setup, or you could listen to a head-tracked binaural rendering on headphones or earphones. If I put some mono dialogue into the mono track and play it,
this video is sponsored by Audio.
You can see that it's being rendered primarily from a single channel, the center channel. Let's open up the panning controls for that track. If it's not in the 3D mode, you can enable it by clicking on this button. You can change your space view by using the middle mouse button and clicking and dragging. The blue dot shows that this channel is currently positioned dead ahead of the viewer. Grab that blue dot, move it to the left, and look at this.
Subtitle templates are found in
the audio is now coming primarily out of the left-hand channel in the meters. Moving on, let's pop some music in the stereo track. This track is from Audio, where we get all our stock music. If I open the pan controls, instead of the track being represented by a single blue dot, there's now also two green ones. That's because this is a stereo track. You can change the width of the stereo field with the spread control. There's more to mixing ASAF than just panning. Select the track header and open the inspector. There's a whole collection of ASAF controls on each track. There's more options here that we've not yet considered and we won't get to look at in this video. For example, you can do things like headlock particular sound effects. That's useful for narrational music that you want to follow your viewer as they move their head. What about ambisonic audio? You can't send ambisonic audio straight to an ASAF master bus. It needs to be sent first through a properly configured ASAF ambisonic sub bus. But what's super cool is that if you don't have one, Resolve will take care of that for you. Watch this. When I create an ambisonic track, my Sennheiser Ambio is first order, so that's what I will select. It automatically creates an ASAF ambisonic first order sub bus and connects everything up. Now I can add an ambisonic recording to that track. Finally, what hardware do you need in order to be able to monitor your ASAF audio? There's all sorts of setups you could use, but the simplest is AirPods. It's actually a great option because lots of people will watch your Apple Immersive video while wearing AirPods. It's so easy, you're going to love this. Take your AirPods out of their case and pop them in your ears. Resolve has detected them and connected instantly. This icon here allows you to turn on or off your AirPods head tracking. If you open up any of the panning controls, look at that. If I move my head to the left, the avatar in the middle turns to the left. When you're done mixing, delivering your ASAF mix is as simple as using one of the pre-configured Vision Pro delivery presets on the deliver page. It's impressive how far DaVinci Resolve's immersive functionality has come in such a short amount of time. Resolve now has a pretty complete suite of tools to master high-quality immersive content. Do you want to see a full immersive project get produced? Please give the video a like and make sure you subscribed. Thanks for watching, it's good to have you here.